Hey there, Rush fans. This is Mark Benetti alongside you for your latest edition of Behind the Bench, presented by Assurance Solutions, where we ask your favorite Rush players questions you've submitted to us on our social media platforms. This week, I'm joined in another one-on-one edition of Behind the Bench with our newest defenseman, Michael Young. Michael, thanks so much for joining us today. Obviously, the NCAA tournament and college basketball has wound down, and Duke has won the national championship. Have you been following the tournament at all? Did you make a bracket this year?
No, I haven't made a bracket. I don't really follow college basketball too much, and basketball in general. I'm not really a big basketball fan, I guess, but I have been watching, and obviously locker room talk, you got to be involved in that, so I've been watching a lot, and obviously Duke won yesterday, and congrats to them.
Obviously, a sport that you did follow and a sport that you did play in was collegiate hockey. You're an alumnus of the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and your boys are in the Frozen Four. Have you kept up with any of them since you've left the school, and what do you have to say to them now that they're in the Frozen Four fighting for a championship?
Yeah, I mean, last year I lived with 3 juniors, so they're seniors now, and obviously I kept in touch with a lot of the guys, really close to them. Being a leader last year, got to know a lot of the guys, and I had talked to them a lot, and actually when I got traded here, I drove up and stopped in Omaha, and they actually had their playoff series there, and talked to them for a lot and talked to the coaches, spent a couple hours with the coaches and how excited they were. And yeah, I've kept in touch with most of them through the journey, and they're really excited, and I just wish them the best of luck, and I know they can do it.
So this is your rookie season right now, and you've played in both the Eastern and Western conferences in the CCHL league. What do you think the playoffs are going to bring? How do you see them shaping up on both sides?
On our side, obviously, I feel like we have a really good chance. When I came in here, the guys were on a heater and we're doing really well. And obviously, we lost the last 2, but we played hard, and I feel we deserve to win those games. I can see us going far in the playoffs, and I obviously haven't seen too many teams other than the stats and online and whatnot for the Western Conference, but in the Eastern Conference, obviously South Carolina was doing really well. They have a really hot goaltender right now, and their forwards have been playing well, and I feel like they can go far too. Florida is really good down there, and other than that, I feel like those 2 are probably the best contenders for the championship on that side, and then hopefully we can go as far as we can here.
Well, we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break, folks. We'll be back with your second half of Behind the Bench after a word from our sponsor.
My job at Assurant involves keeping our customers informed at a time when they need us the most. I care about doing a good job for my company, but mostly I care about the people I serve. I found the same spirit of caring in a lot of my coworkers at Assurant. In the communities where we operate, we get involved with outreach groups and local charities. The same teams that are so good at helping our customers are also hard at work helping out in our neighborhoods. I think if I had to tell somebody one thing about Assurant, I'd say we care.
And we're back with your second half of Behind the Bench, presented by Assurance Solutions. Another one-on-one edition of the program. This time joining us, the newest defenseman on the Rush roster, Michael Young. Michael, we talked earlier about what you thought of the playoff shaping up in each conference. Now that you've played in both conferences, have you noticed any competitive differences as far as the style of hockey is concerned between the Eastern side and the Western side?
No, I haven't noticed a whole lot. Obviously, I haven't played too many, like I said before, games in this conference, but I think the biggest thing is there's not a lot of AHL guys, which means that guys are a lot older in this conference, I feel, or from the games that we've played. The skill level is about the same, I think. Obviously, the scores are pretty tight, the teams are tight, and both conferences are really tight, and I feel like that's the biggest similarities between the 2.
With this Rush club, you have 6 games under your belt, 2 assists, and a +6 grading. Clearly, you're acclimating well.
I'm doing what I can. I mean, the guys are making it easy for me. Batsy's obviously been playing unbelievable. My D partners that I've had have been really good, and they talk a lot. And obviously, the coaching has helped me a lot through learning all their systems and helping me play the way I play. And I feel like the way that our coaches teach the game and the way they run things here is better to where my game suits, and it's starting to show. It's nice.
You came to the Rush by virtue of an assignment from the American Hockey League's Providence Bruins, and you're on a contract with that club. How did that path come about in your career? How did you get that American League deal?
It was actually funny. My entire summer was havoc, actually. I started off in Milwaukee right after my college season, and I played 1 game in Toronto and dislocated my shoulder, so that ended really abruptly. And going back into the summer, I didn't know where I was going to be, didn't know what I was going to do, so I just trained hard, and I ended up working a couple jobs, just have some money, and then went to a couple camps, went to San Jose, went to Chicago, and Boston was watching me through the whole ordeal, and randomly got a call from my agent saying that I had the spot, and if I wanted it, it was there, and so I went there, and then I went to the Boston main camp, rookie camp, went through all that, and then ended up in Providence, fought through a couple injuries, got sent down, and just been moving all over the place. Basically, is my year so far. So it's been a ride.
Last question for you, Michael. The regular season finishes up this week, a 2-game set against the Allen Americans, who have the Central Division Championship for this regular season. Very physical, imposing hockey club. What challenges do you foresee lying ahead?
Obviously, I feel it's just going to be a big test. I think the guys are up for the test, and we just got to – I obviously don't know much about them. I know a few guys on the team, and I know they're really good, obviously, but just got to play the way we've been playing and keep working hard, and we got to try and clinch second and roll in the playoffs with a winning streak here.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Michael. As always, welcome to Rapid City. It's great to have you on board. That's been it for your latest edition of Behind the Bench, presented by Assurant Solutions. And don't forget to submit your questions for your favorite Rush players on our social media platforms.